you need that team, but you need a structure in terms of what you're doing as well. Like that's why I find it so easy working with gyms. Like I literally have a chatbot template that I just press duplicate on.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Design a Future podcast. Today we are joined by Ryan. Ryan, please let's get straight into it. Introduce yourself for me.
Yeah, hey guys, how you doing? My name is Ryan Aherne. I'm 20 years old from Cork in the south of Ireland.
You're 20. Sorry, you're 20. I didn't even realize you was 20. Oh shit, man. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit more interesting. All right, cool.
Yeah, and I guess a really short description of who I am and what I'm doing is I'm 20. I'm a college dropout, and I own a digital marketing agency.
Wicked. I mean, I like to have like a structure of this, but straight away, like with you just saying like you're 20 years old, what got you like into entrepreneurship or, you know, like starting your own business? Obviously 20 years old, like I think at 20 years old, I don't know what I was doing at 20 years old, basically, but I wasn't running like a successful business. Well, I was running a successful business, but probably not as successful as obviously you are at this moment in time. So what got you into this whole thing?
Yeah, well, what got me into it was, I mean, it was just about coming up on 2 years ago, maybe it's just slightly over a year and a half. The first thing many people's online journeys start when they see an ad from Ty Lopez, and so
Really, this is the thing. Like, I hear so many people talk about Ty Lopez, and you know what? Like, I've literally never seen any. Like, I see the whole, you know, like the old school ad of him like knowledge, like in his Lambo, like in his thing. But I never watched any of them. So cool, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I guess I saw one of them, and in the time I was in secondary school or high school, wherever you live, whatever you call it. I was in that kind of level of school, and I saw his ads.
He's like, I like that Lambo.
I was like, yeah, well, I like that, but more importantly, whatever caught my attention, whether it was Lambo or knowledge, whatever it was, I added him on Snapchat because he was like vlogging every day on Snapchat, right? Okay. And why I added him or why I kept following him was I was studying for like exams at the time, and I really love motivational quotes and like just pulling inspiration and motivation daily from like things like that, whether it's a book or a quote or whatever it is, you know. And he was putting up like a quote of the day on his Snapchat story. And when I was studying, you know, in the evening times, I check it out and be like, oh, that's cool. And then I get back to studying kind of thing. And it kind of just helped me. And he started talking about social media. And I was like, I love social media because I'd been doing like YouTube videos and stuff like that for 5 years at that stage. And
cool.
I had a bunch of subscribers and made videos all the time. So I was like, this seems like something that would be cool for me to get involved in. And finished my exams in school. And then it was weird. Like, I swear to God, the day I finished the exams, he launched. Now, I know he does special offers all the time, but for me, it was the first time I saw one of his special offers. And I was like, he's like 50% off my social media marketing course. And I was like, I wanted to do this during school, but I knew I was too busy and I couldn't afford it and all that. So what I literally did was finish school, and I was like, oh my God, this is like God telling me like something has to happen. It's lining up, you know? Yeah. So I hopped into his course at the 50% off, and that was kind of the beginning of everything. His course was definitely not something that could bring you much success on its own, but it's pointed me in the right direction where I ended up finding other people that helped and filled in blanks and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of the beginning.
So Ty Lopez is like your gateway drug, essentially, right?
Yeah, basically, gateway drug is a good way of saying it. Yeah, but I guess as well, one other thing I'll quickly touch on is that, like, I mean, when there was the advertising and content creation side, which was always there in me in terms of I was doing it for years and years, and I also started selling like my first thing when I was like 10 years old. I was just selling pens in school because they had like a toy forklift truck on the top. And I just brought it into school one day using it, and everyone wanted to take the pen off me. And my dad owns a forklift truck business. So I just had an unlimited supply of these pens. So I started bringing them into school and just started selling them to people and it wasn't even for the pen, but the toy kept breaking. So this is bad ethics, but the toy kept breaking. So people kept coming back to me wanting another one.
Nice.
Didn't make much money off it, like, but you know, it was just a cool thing back when you're 10 years old. Just to,
yeah, but no, that's cool as well, because I think like it goes back to I see a thing about the guy that was like the young kid that was selling sweets in school and stuff like that, and like that's what I used to do. Like I remember when I was at secondary school, I literally made like £60 one day because I brain. Did you ever see? Look, I don't even know if they do them anymore, but you remember they was called brain lickers.
I haven't. No, I don't know about them.
So there was like these little like little. I don't even know what they was. There was like these sweet things, but it was like gobstoppers essentially, but you like
Yeah.
lick them and they was like oil basically, but they was just like sweets. But they was literally like this big. So in like my school backpack, I could literally put like 60 of them in there, and I used to sell them for £1. So like I was, and to be able to I was literally made like £60 in a day at school. I was like, oh crap. But I see a story about that, and there was like this kid that he was literally like not a millionaire, but he had made like some serious money. Like he was bringing in the sweets, and then he was getting his mates to sell the sweets for him.
I think I saw an interview about that or something. I think I mentioned the same guy.
I think it was on like This Morning or something. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, I mean, it's great to hear about like a bit of your backstory. So, I mean, the next question I would ask you is, what sort of motivates you at this point moving forward?
Yeah, what motivates me? That's a really good question, actually, because there's a couple of different things that motivate me. But one thing is just I've seen, I know I'm only 20, but I've seen a lot of things. I've seen people be very happy. I've seen people be very sad. I've seen people do what they love, and I've seen people do what they don't love. And it's just kind of, I guess, seeing that has kind of motivated me to just make sure that I'm doing something that I enjoy, and that's setting me up for a life that I can enjoy as well. And I guess if I'm not doing that, if, for example, I went to college for a little while before, for 3-4 months, right? But that was something that it just wasn't me. I wasn't enjoying it. And so I felt that.
What did you study at college out of interest?
Yeah, I studied psychology.
Okay.
So I was studying psychology, yeah, which I do find interesting. Like I love the psychology and advertising and marketing are very closely related, and I really love the topic, but I just hated college. It was just making me miserable. So I kind of know I hated doing that, and I know it made me miserable. So I want to make sure whatever I'm doing, I enjoy, and if I'm enjoying something, I'm not miserable.
Nice, wicked, cool. So in terms of like, you know, a big thing for me is like family and stuff like that. How is your family sort of, you know, adapted or taken into this whole, you know, you saying, oh, I'm making money online. I think I see you speaking to someone in Canada the other day.
Yeah, I was. So, you know, my family are traditional, so making money online is a little like in the beginning. They're even like, "Is that are you doing a scam thing? How's it like? What are you good at? Like, what's all this about?" They would much prefer me to go the route of, "Oh, go to college, be safe, get a safe job, and do that," or at least maybe then focus on building on business. So they're very traditional in the way, so they don't fully support this decision, but it is my decision, and I'm happy I made it.
Nice. So sorry, just because I didn't even realize you was 20 years old as well. Like coming straight out of college, so does that mean you've never like really worked like an ordinary 9-to-5 job or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I never did for any kind of long period of time. Just small things, part-time things here and there, but nothing major. No, it just is something that I've never had an interest in, and I've always kind of hated I think one thing that's important to me is control. For whatever reason, for some deep reason in my mind, whatever happened, control is important to me. And so I think like I don't like the fact that if I was in a 9-to-5 job, I'm not really in control of what I'm doing at all. There's one guy ahead of me who's in control of, you know, the boss is in control of me. The business that I'd be working in is in control of the potential income that I can earn. Like you just can't, if you're working for someone, you're not in charge of how much money. You can work as hard as you want for as long as you want, but get a bit of overtime here and there, right? And that's about it. And maybe you get promoted if there's no one else around that would take that promotion ahead of you. But like you're not in control of that. Whereas when you're doing your own thing, the more hard work or smart work that I put in, the more money I'm going to make. The more time and effort I put in, the more money I'll make. And I like the fact that working for yourself, you're in control of that. And at least everything is your own fault. All the success is my fault, and I can take credit for it. But all the failures are my fault too, and I can own up to that, and I'm fine with that.
Wicked, wicked, cool. So moving on to sort of like the technical side of things, what apps do you use on like a daily basis? Is there a couple of apps that you can throw out there that you really just could not live without?
Yeah, definitely. So oh God, there's so many. It's even hard to nail it down to a couple. But I mean, like social media, obviously, any social media app is super important in terms of like the business doesn't exist without them in the first place. But something more specific than that is, I guess, an app we're using right now, Zoom.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
link for this call. Oh my God, if that wasn't there, I can't imagine doing doing things over a phone call is just so much more difficult than a Zoom call.
Oh,
So
100%.
so I love Zoom. That helps out with all my client meetings. I also love Calendly, which goes hand in hand with Zoom. I like a bit of Calendly,
Yeah.
and one app as well. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's actually an app for the phone called Video Leap. Have you heard of it? Enlight Video Leap.
You know what? Funny enough, I have actually.
Yeah.
When push comes to shove, like I would really classify myself as a video editor. Like that's how I got
Yeah.
into like making money online in the first place. But I've looked at that, and to be honest, like because there's only so much, especially when you're trying to build like teams around like video editing. Like I could
Mm,
hire someone, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have Final Cut," and I'm like, "Okay, I can't really teach you
yeah.
how to do this." So I've actually looked into Video Leap, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is. So like I've edited on a bunch of different things, and it's just an app. I believe it's just on the phone. But from what I found, it's my favorite and best editing app to use on a phone. And I don't do much content creation. It'd only be quick things for my own personal brand, but it is so
Okay.
much features, and it helps me out a lot.
So sorry, just before I get into like the more technical side of things as
Yeah.
well. So you said what what you do as like an agency and stuff, but could you just break down to anyone, like say for example, it's the first time
Mm,
anyone's jumped on and heard about this whole like social media marketing
yeah.
agency? What are like the actual services that you are delivering as a service to these clients?
Yeah. So I guess a digital marketing agency, every business needs leads or needs customers, right? And most businesses struggle with making that consistent. They struggle with having a nice inflow of it. So a digital marketing agency should be, in most cases, but there's also, there's difference between, creative digital marketing agencies and more like performance ad-based agency. And then there's the hybrid, a join of the two. But I mean, like the goal is for the agency to help businesses with their awareness, with their leads, and with getting new customers. And so my agency, we actually only work with gyms now. So we used to work with loads of types of businesses, but we're just simplifying things and working with gyms only. And so gyms need new members and new clients. So what we do is we say, okay, hey, Mr. Gym owner, we're going to get you new leads and new members, new clients. And what we're going to do that is we're going to do Facebook advertising for you. So we'll do paid Facebook ads to generate leads, so names, numbers, emails, etc., for these gyms. And then we also the only really service we offer it's combined services, the Facebook ads and the chatbots to go along with it. And
Okay.
it's basically like there's only one service offering that we do. We don't do any more. We don't offer Google Ads. We don't offer content creation. We don't offer SEO or website building. A lot of digital agencies do, and their services you would see in this industry. But specifically our agency, we just offer one package basically, and it's called the Elite Gym Leads Program, and it's just Facebook ads and chatbots for gyms.
Okay, cool. So just to, obviously I'm aware of like the capability of in terms of income that this can generate for you guys, but just for someone that may have some limiting beliefs on, how much money there really is available, and like you said, you're offering a service isn't a scam, like what people are saying, like this is genuinely people need this, right? And if you're going to the right people and there is an actual need for it, why would they not pay you X amount per month? So just so just for anyone that's come on this and they're like, what, this guy's closing clients in different countries, what's sort of like your average retainer? Because obviously I know that the £1,000 a month mark isn't always the case for every single
Yeah.
client. There's a lot of fluff out there, and there's a lot of people saying, oh, don't accept this client if they're not willing to pay you £1,000 a month or £2,000 a month, £3,000 a month. What does your average client sort of look like when you're doing that?
Yeah, so my average client, and the way I kind of structure my deals now, which is recently changed, so it's hard to give an average off what's only been in the last 30 days. The way I structure it now really is just one, like I said a minute ago, I have one offer. It's the Elite Gym Leads program.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do is I just have 3 different prices for that, right? And so
Cool.
that is just on 3 different contract durations. So it's like you want to go for a 3-month contract, a 6-month contract, or a 12-month contract. And obviously the higher the duration of the contract, I decrease the price
Sure.
for that. So I mean, on average though, average retainer there, just going to go for the middle one is, to be honest, if I go for the middle, it is $950 per month, so very close to 1,000 euro, very close to 1,000 euro retainer. But in the past, probably going on average, like I've had a max client was 2,000 euro per month, and then I've had clients for my first ever client. Well, that was my first one, was 400 euro per month. I went up then from 5. The next one after that was actually a 500 euro per month client. But
Nice.
on average, you're going to say 900, 950.
Okay, cool. So I just want to step in and, just really speak to the viewers and the listeners at this point as well, is, it may seem so far out of reach that someone paying you £1,000, £2,000, £3,000 euros, if you're Ryan, for example,
Yeah.
but that might seem out of reach now. But like Ryan said, his first client was 400. He's now bringing his authority up, and he's got testimonials, case studies, and a proven strategy and system for him to be able to not only say, oh yeah, it's £1,000, and not really be confident in what he's selling. He knows his product and his service is now worth £1,000. So that's, I think, what a lot of people sort of like get sort of don't understand at the first point is, like, you can't go to someone if you've never had a client, you've never got any results or anything like that, and just say, yeah, it's £1,000, and just literally just close the door on that person because they're not willing to give this person £1,000, right? So, Brian, with that being said, like, what's your thoughts on people like working for free, especially when they haven't got that sort of proven record?
Yeah, so I guess I don't like working for free. I never have. Like my first client, it wasn't free, so it was 400. Well, it was barely even 400 a month. It was actually a weekly basis. So she's like, "I'll pay you €100 a week." So
Okay.
like if after 1 week,
So
you weren't happy.
that's like even more like chopped
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
right? Because you don't even know.
exactly.
Like, after the first week, she might have been like, "No, I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, yeah, you should in the beginning, if you have nothing, not go out and try to charge someone £1,000 or €1,000, whatever it is. In the beginning, you should be honest, and like if someone's willing to pay you if someone's willing to pay you €400 and they know you're a beginner, take that. Like I charged them €400 in the beginning, but the conversation I had with that client was, hey, I haven't had no clients before. I've only done work for
Sure.
myself and profiles. I want to work with you to do XYZ. And I just put it in a different way. I said, you'll be my first client, so you will have all of my attention. I want you to be a case study for me. And that's my business plan. I'm telling you that now. So please allow me to work with you, because I want to make this the best experience ever for you, so that I have the best case study. And so I was upfront with, all of that with the client. And then that client was like, okay, I think the client even told me, I wouldn't make you do this for free for me, so I'll pay you
Yeah.
100.
I mean, I like, when I was first starting as well, like, I had people that I was working with, and I'd done like a week's worth of stuff for them, and they're literally like, you need to charge me for this. Like, you need to, and obviously I'm just trying to build like relationships and
Yeah.
sort of show your worth, sort of thing. But yeah, ultimately, like, guys, the thing is, like, just build your authority first. Don't be afraid to not necessarily work for free, but work at a discounted rate. Or if you are going to be selling straight away at that higher sort of like high ticket mark, if you like, please make sure like you have the systems and softwares in place to to be able to take that money and actually not necessarily give them a return on the investment on like the first month or something, but to actually be able to move the needle in their business as well. So cool. With that being said, man, like, is there any like books that you would recommend to like your new entrepreneurial sort of guys that are going to land on this, guys and girls,
Yeah,
should I say?
yeah, yeah. Interesting. So I went through. I've always, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of books, but it wouldn't have been business or entrepreneurial books. And then when I got into business, I started reading a couple, stopped, listened to audiobooks, then went back to books. But I'm trying to think now what book is my favorite. Um, I just finished, but listening to the audiobook, I finished How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I just found that absolutely amazing. Like it just took so many notes down, even though like it was an audio, I was in the car when I got home, I'd be like, oh shit, what did I just listen to? I need to write those notes out. How to Win Friends and Influence People, which helps with life in general, but and business too, and just how to, I mean, it's kind of in the name. I don't like winning friends, but you know, how to talk to people, how to make
Yeah.
friends, how to influence people in a positive and ethical way. So that book was really had an impact on me. But then also, what's the other one? I just finished Think and Grow Rich. So these are pretty common books, I think, that everyone's kind of heard about. But
The reason I love to ask this question is because I see so much like similarities between like the people were either like, oh yeah, I read these books, and then like they'll literally list like the sort of books you've talked about, or it'll be like, I don't read books at all. So it's always an interesting question I like to ask.
yeah,
Cool. With that being said, like is ClickFunnels something you use within your business? I love to find everyone's opinions on ClickFunnels.
yeah. Actually, I like that question. So it's actually okay. So if I've had an agency for the last year and a half, let's keep it simple here and say year and a half, I bought ClickFunnels 2 months ago. So I mean,
Really?
so I didn't use ClickFunnels for the first nearly year and a half. I never used it for my clients because a lot of the work I'd done, I used chatbots for instead of ClickFunnels, and kind of build a messenger funnel instead of a ClickFunnels funnel,
Mm-hmm.
landing page funnel, and because there's definitely a place for ClickFunnels and a place for messenger bots, I believe.
Yeah.
However, I just kind of thought, like, you know what, I'm specializing in, and I really like chatbots, so I was like, I'm going to specialize in them, and that's going to be a little bit of my unique selling point. Um, but like, for example, like ClickFunnels, I still do not provide it and will not be providing it as a service for clients. It's actually what I built
Yeah.
my own new website funnel on myself. So I only got, so I use it for myself, but I don't use it for my clients.
Sure. Yeah, no, I love to ask that question as well, because I know some people, they like pay for it on a monthly basis and like literally don't earn any money using it at all. And it's just like, okay. But then there's some people that obviously, you know, like the whole, what's it called? Like the comma club and stuff, like where they
Yeah,
make literally through there. But yeah, I actually use lead pages. So
oh,
I've used like ClickFunnels, lead pages, Kartra, like all of those different ones. So yeah, it's interesting to hear about that. Especially you've only started using it like 2 months ago. That's really cool. So what about cold emails?
yeah.
Do you use cold emails, whether it's for like your personal brand or the agency?
No, I actually don't. I used a little bit of cold emails, like I've never done automatic or like, you know, a system for cold emails to do loads. I did a little, how I got my first, I'll quickly tell the story of how I got my first client actually.
Yeah,
Because
that'd be great.
what I did was it involved a cold email or cold emails. I took it, I was like, I was doing courses, you know, how do I get a client? How do I get a business to pay me, right? How do I even get a meeting in the first place?
Sorry. Just to jump on that as well before, like obviously you said you took the Ty Lopez course, and I should have really asked you, is there any other courses that you've taken since then? Like you mentioned it was like your entry to it. So feel free
Yeah.
to let people know.
So I'll quickly fire off a couple I've done. So one person who's had a big impact on me is Rob Quinn. So he has his own course, Agency in a Box and Art of Sales. I've also done mentorships with, I'm doing one right now. Actually, I have a mentor, Andrew Dylan Pabia, who's amazing. And then a bunch of other I've done some Billie Jean's courses. Oh God, what else? They're the ones that come off the head, but I've done other, smaller €100 courses, which are like, you know, a 2-hour thing, or like webinars and stuff. So I've done so many, but
Sure.
with those courses, they all had different client acquisition methods. You know, do cold email, do cold calling, do LinkedIn outreach. But I was like, everyone's doing that. Everyone's doing cold calling. Everyone's doing cold email. Everyone's doing LinkedIn outreach. What I want to stand out, because it's like, if you think about it, what is marketing? Marketing and advertising is making one business stand out among its competitors, and therefore attracting people to that instead of its competitors and then buying from them. I was like, what can I do to make myself stand out among everyone else who's sending Facebook DMs, emails, and cold calls? I was like, okay, what do I do? So what I did was I took out my phone. Uh, I took out my phone, recorded a video going, hey guys, how you doing? Insert restaurant name. It was restaurants at the time I wanted to get. And I did like a 30-second video. And then I just did like a cool kind of edit trick where I slammed the phone against my head, and then I popped it back and I was outside now. I wasn't inside a room. So I just added a little bit of editing in to like spice it up a little bit. And the actual
I
second
like
half,
that. I like that. And that just shows like you going one step further as well, right?
yeah, exactly. And the second half of the video then though was like template. It was the same. Only the first 30 seconds was customized. The second part then was the same thing. It was, hey guys, I'm outside now, and
Oh man, automating that. I love it.
I was offering an audit and said, hey, can you ring me back? Here's my number. Let's schedule a meeting. And I made about 30 of those videos, and 5 people called me back the next day, or within the next 2 or 3 days, they called me back. And I had those 5 meetings, and then from those first 5 meetings, I closed 2 of them, and for like the 400 and 500 euro kind of a month deals. And then one of them I'm actually still with till this day. They've just been amazing
Sick.
clients. So
And sorry, is that product that's still just Facebook ads you're doing for those, right?
so for these clients in the beginning, sorry, you know, it was a bit of everything. So it was content creation, it was
Cool.
reputation kind of management, and Facebook ads. Yeah. Bit
Nice.
of everything back then. It was just because it was kind of a sales pitch of, please let me do everything. I'll do everything for you. Just hire me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go to the shop and get you milk if you need milk from the shop. Like, just hire me. That's kind of how it was in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like anyone that's done this sort of stuff, like they'll always start, and there'll be clients that you've worked with at the start, and it's literally like, oh my god, like I actually used to do all of that for
Yeah.
them. Like it's mental. All right, cool. So, is there any like social media tips, whether they're looking to start their own business, start their own personal brand, or this is literally the first thing they've seen about people making money online? Any tips that you could give for like a newbie in the space?
Yeah. So I guess I have 2 separate tips, right? The first one is just to get started straight away and just do it, because too many people think about it for so long. Then they get their first course and they like go through the whole course, and then they go like, okay, never mind, I'm not going to get started. I'll do another course and another course and another course. And it's like at some stage you've got to get out and try this in the real world, whether you're doing it for free or whether you're doing it on a very discounted kind of trial thing. Taking action and just doing it, you learn so much more than just watching a YouTube video and from just thinking about doing it. So get started in any way you can. Get started if it's with your personal brand. Get started speaking on camera. Get started speaking on your Instagram stories. Someone came to me recently and they want to, build a personal brand for their business, but they are scared to do it. And they've never spoken on a camera. They've never put themselves out there. And if you're going to be in business, you really have to put yourself out there to make these connections, whether it's online or in person.
Sure.
And I told the guy literally, just get started today, start recording videos of yourself and don't upload them. Just keep them private for yourself. Do that for a week. Then after the second week, upload your video, record videos and stories, upload them to a private Instagram with no followers. Just get used to speaking to a camera and uploading them. Get 1 view or no views, which is 1 view from your mom maybe. And then after that, you've slowly built up a little bit of courage where it should be a little bit easier to put yourself out there on your actual page or an actual business page and speak to and get your first, maybe it's only 10 views now, but still get your first time, get people to react.
Yeah. Can I ask you a bit of a random question with just what you said from that? How many videos do you think you've recorded of yourself that no one's seen?
Oh God.
I don't know why that just come into my head, but I'm just thinking like where you said like, I'll record videos and don't upload them. Like I literally looked at my hard drive the other day and I see videos of like my room and it was a completely different way. And I'm speaking about something. I was like, I never uploaded that. And I'm just like, why didn't I? So
I'd say I have at least 50 to 100. Let's say 75 solid videos that would be good if I uploaded them. Some of them I'm just saving it for 10 years time. I'm saving it for 20 years time. And it's going to release that. Because you know what I always imagine is like, I would really love to have seen like vlogs or short, even 30-second, 60-second videos of people like Steve Jobs or any success, Elon Musk, anyone, when they were 20 and in their like small little office or in their bedroom, whatever it was for them. I would love to see videos from them. So, you know, the goal is like I can release those videos of myself in 20 years time when I'm a little closer to their level or whatever it is, you know. I think it'd be
wicked. So obviously going from, you know, getting on your first client, your first 2 clients from your cold emailing, what does your team or like your outsourcing look like at this, like in this day and age?
Yeah. So, I mean, in the beginning, it was like, you know, just completely solo on my own, doing absolutely everything. And then I had to be like, okay, I can't really afford actual employees. And especially in Ireland here, where the cost of employment would be super, super high. And the lack of quality skills in this country as well are really low in terms of Facebook ads and chatbots specifically. So I was like, even if I could afford to hire someone, I'd have to bring them through like a really big training in order to get them on par with the service I want to offer. So yeah, I started outsourcing to loads of different people, actually trying to find, you know, the right people to be working with, and then hire VAs to do this and do that. And then right now I'm at the stage where I've worked with lots of other people, and I've kind of have a solid team kind of put together. I've just let go of everyone else. I was like, no, I tried you out for a few months. I was working with you. It's not working out. I have a group of 4 people right now, and we just work great. And it's a remote team, and it works beautifully.
Okay, wicked. So, what does, like, obviously, firstly, let me fire some like quick fire questions at you. Really try and go. So, where do you find these people?
Where do you find these people? You can use Upwork and Fiverr to find and outsource people to Upwork. Free Up is another one I actually used. Fiverr. Facebook groups actually is where I found a lot of people, at least that I interviewed. Just put into Facebook groups, hey guys, who's here? Who's good at Facebook ads? You'll get like 1,000 people commenting. Ask them to like qualify that a little bit, you know, have an interview with the top 10 people and see if they can partner with you to make something work. So yeah, they're the main places, kind of outsourcing sites like Free Up that or Facebook groups.
Cool. And what does your day-to-day look like now that you're not necessarily doing the fulfillment side of things?
Yeah, so I mean, you're still involved more than I thought. I thought it means you wouldn't be as much involved, so you still have to like manage everything, make sure things are running smoothly, have conversations with the team and see how they're getting on. How can we work together and speak to improve this campaign? It's just kind of like a manager's role instead, where you kind of, still is like management, I guess, involved in it. So originally, I'll have a team doing work for me and then I'll have so much time in the world. I don't think I have much extra time. I've just changed my job. Like I changed the role that I'm doing in terms of I'm now managing instead of actually doing it. But then there's also more clients on board, so you're managing more stuff because you can handle it now when you have a team behind you. You can handle more people.
Sure. And you can focus on bringing in new clients, right, as well.
And have more time. That, to be honest, yeah, I guess it doesn't add more time. It just gives you more time to do other things.
Sure. Yeah. And like you said, like, I think it goes without saying, like, when you're in a position that you can put a team in place, et cetera, like, you could easily just sit on the sofa all day right now, I'm guessing, if you wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, when I'm sick, it's great. It's like if I'm sick and I have to take a day off work, I'm like, okay, everything will still run smoothly.
Yeah, like, but that's the thing. Like, it also shows, like, you're in it for the growth. Like, you could probably live comfortably at this moment in time with, like what you said, the team doing it, you doing minimal work, but you're out there every day hustling, trying to get new clients into the business as well.
Yeah.
That's wicked, man. Well, cool. So we're coming up to about the 40-minute mark. So we've gone over just a little bit. Just to like fill these last couple of minutes, I'd love to just hear about like your plans, your goals, and hopefully we can get you back on the podcast in a couple of months' time, and just hopefully tick those off together.
Oh yeah, then that'll be sick. So I guess quickly my goals in the short term right now is to I'm 21 on the 14th of June. Okay, so I only started working. Well, I've been working with two gyms for like the last 6 months now, but I only niched into gyms and started looking for clients in the last like 30 days, maybe about. I'm gonna say start of February, so let's say a month and a bit, right? Um, that's when I started like going, okay, now I got rid of some other clients and I'm going only for gyms. And I guess the goal is 14th of June is my 21st birthday, and I want to have 21 gyms signed up by my 21st birthday. That's kind of a nice goal I just have in my head, and that's what I'm aiming towards. And I have systems in place that hopefully should allow me to get there. So yeah, I'd love to be on sometime after my 21st birthday and tell you how I got to 21 gyms. Then yeah.
Yeah, man, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Wicked. Well, I hope you do it, and I'm sure you will. More so about like because obviously, like, let me just, let's just really wrap this one up. Like, because you obviously said you was interested in video editing. What was like your YouTube channel about before when you just putting like content out?
It went through different niches. Like originally, it was I used to go to the skate park with my friends. So it was like skate park videos. Then I'm a big MMA fan, so then it turned into an MMA highlight channel where it's just highlights of the MMA fights until I got 3 copyright strikes. So I nearly got my channel shut down. So
Oh
I had to
shit.
stop. Yeah, so I had to stop that. Then I was like, I was 6 months after like a couple months, your strikes go away, so they're clear now. But now I've changed it to like a business kind of thing. But most like I upload videos to YouTube all the time, but actually none of them are public anymore. I don't do much public videos. They're like all like private videos for business and stuff like that. For clients as well, I
Oh,
prepare
okay.
videos for clients and stuff. But
So, sorry, just to really get these last things in, I've gone like back and forth with these sort of
it's all good.
questions, but I'm just thinking of like certain things. What's like a system or certain process that you've got in place that if someone, let's say for example, had like 3 or 4 clients, that you would say like, look, you need to have this in place if you're really gonna scale this thing.
I mean, well, the team is super important, but I think if like that needs to be there in place, and I guess that's a system in of itself. But I think to scale, you need you need that team, but you need a structure in terms of what you're doing as well. Like that's why I find it so easy working with gyms. Like I literally have a chatbot template that I just press duplicate on, and then I customize the name and the pricing for this gym, and I change some things, but like it's duplicated
Yeah.
and like that's scalable. Whereas if I didn't have that giant ass chatbot funnel built out and the follow up systems built out, it would take so long to get a new client set up. But because I have a duplicatable approach, because I'm working with the same industry and just tweaking the offers,
Mm-hmm.
it's replicatable.
And that's the power of niching down as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That is the power of niching down.
Wicked, wicked. Cool. So, Ryan, thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you
For
for
having me.
everyone. Thank you. No, seriously, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for everyone listening and watching. If you are obviously interested, please go ahead and follow Ryan. I'll leave his link in the description, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
See you guys. Bye.
Hollywood 6.